President Biden is breaking the gridlock in Washington. Inflation has been coming down and gas prices are plummeting. So after months of attacking Biden on these very issues, what can Republicans attack now? Simple. They go back to the classics, like crime, racist dog whistles disguised as police support and designed to stoke fear. A desperate attempt to distract. They don't know what to do when there's real leadership in Washington. But this old classic won't work, because it's hard to be tough on crime when your party leader is a criminal. A man who stole classified documents and lied to the FBI. And this was after he participated in an attempted coup. So go ahead, Republicans, get tough on crime. If you really want to prove you mean it, there's one criminal who's more than ready for his orange jumpsuit.
Okay. So that's fairly recent.
Yes, that's fairly recent. That was about a month ago. And it's, part of the way we operate. We were a bunch of former Republicans who came out of a very hardball school of politics. And we saw that on the left and the center, there weren't people who were articulating messages and punching in the way that was going to be effective politically. So we built the Lincoln Project, and we've tried to become a home for disaffected Republicans, folks in the center, folks on the center left as well, who aren't happy with some of the edges of their party. And we're an advocacy organization now that fights for democracy at a level we think brings a certain fighting spirit to it that is missing in the culture.
Is divisiveness a good thing for you?
Look, divisiveness exists in our political culture no matter what we want. You have to be the loudest voice in the room sometimes.
So what are you trying to evoke emotionally in everybody that just watched that spot? What are you hoping that I feel after watching that spot?
Well, there's a secret, Phil. That spot isn't really targeted toward you or most people. It's targeted a very narrow window of Republican voters who don't like Trump. They comprise between 7 and 11% of the voting population, and we're very good at talking to them and making them feel discomfort about their support of the craziest edge of things, making them own the things that no real conservative wakes up in the morning and says, hey, it's a great idea to storm the Capitol and kill cops. No one wakes up and thinks that. But we want those people to break out of the tribalism of saying, oh, I have to automatically vote for the party because they feel like the alternative is some nightmare scenario. I call it the closet of imaginary demons, where Republicans have been told, if you don't vote the straight party line, tomorrow it's going to be Sharia law or mandatory gay marriage or all these crazy fantasies that they're fed every day through this media ecosystem that they live in. So, our efforts to push back on that, our efforts to countervail those messages, they can be aggressive. They can be funny. They can be dark. Some of them are very emotionally uplifting, but they're targeted at a pretty narrow slice of voters that are independent-leaning voters who vote Republican, soft Republican, more higher income Republican voters, because elections in this country are close in most places.
So you're looking for what you think could be a swing vote.
They've become the swing vote, yes.
Okay. So what was y'all's reaction to that ad? Okay, Nate, go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm the chairman of the California College Republicans, and I wanted to give a comment. I mean, first of all, I think that, I find it a little ironic that we talk about how the Republicans are, especially these MAGA Republicans, are fear-mongering when, that ad was obviously pure fear-mongering meant to, incite a sense of urgency within Republicans. It was kind of a predatory tactic to sort of stoke fear among Republicans when I think that just a lot of them are very fed up with the established way of doing politics right now, and that's fine.
I take your point that you think the ad was meant to stoke urgency. It is. I would love to go back to an era where we fought, where we had people who had passionate, intense fights about marginal tax rates and and energy policy and all those things. But we don't live in that world because we have a former president who ordered his people to storm the U.S. Capitol to overthrow a democratic election. I feel a sense of urgency about that. I think you should too. If you're a conservative, you should be worried that you don't easily overthrow democratic norms and institutions at the whim of one man.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.